Hello and welcome to It's Your Time to Solve. This is your first time tuning in. Know to inspire, motivate, and impact. Welcome back, Soul Nation. And on this episode today, we're going to be talking about false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, I just want you to know that this podcast is all about giving listeners, helping them to release all of the excess baggage that they may have accumulated, whether that's in your purpose, whether that's on the job, whether that's in your business, or whether that's just you being a creative. If that's you, we're going to help you to release those excess baggage so that you can soar today. Times when I would watch a bunch of horror movies, thrillers, and suspense movies. And during bedtime, I always wanted to either leave the light on, leave the TV on, or I would prefer to fall asleep with the TV on versus having the whole room in darkness. But I remember many times, even after I fell asleep, I even found myself wanting to go into my mother's room, mainly because I saw a level of comfort and protection being in there. And I actually found out years later that all of these fears, and that's where I get the acronym from, false evidence appearing real. I realized that it was just that. It was false. It was something that I made up in my mind, but it was fed by the movies that I was watching. And evidence, because of the movies I was watching, my subconscious went to work to formulate what I was seeing visually. And this is a side note, something I said in an episode past during the interview, that's actually going live at 7 p.m. sharp. So, today, but by the time you see this, that episode would have already been published and in circulation. But you want to check that out as well. It's called "Why Be Good When You Can Be Great." And I talk about how the eye gate, mouth gate, ear gate, heart gate, how these areas affect what you think and everything that you do on a daily basis. And using my eye gate, these false evidence came to life for me in the form of dreams, and I found that these wasn't real and it was just fear. And remember, the word of God said that He hasn't given us fear, but He has given us power, peace, love, and a sound mind. No fear. False evidence appearing real. You know, I was listening to a audio book just a few days ago, and in the audio book they were telling a story about Elijah. Now, if you know anything about Elijah, now next to Jesus, this is no comparison, but in the Word of God, when they spoke about prophets, only person who did more than Elijah in the Bible was Jesus himself. But in First Kings chapter 18, Elijah was prompted by God to go to King Ahab, and he was telling him why the famine was in the land, because they were going through a major famine at this particular time. And he told them that only if they this came about from their forefathers, and only if they turned from their wicked ways, that God would then stop the famine on the line, and then it would rain again. And he actually made a wager with them that he wanted all the prophets of Baal, because during that time Israel was a great portion of Israel. They were worshiping the prophet Baal, and Elijah told Ahab to get all of your prophets together, and we are going on top of Mount Carmel, and we are going to see which one of our gods is going to be able to light our sacrifices on fire. Now, Elijah knew that he really knew that he had this hands down. So, but he just really wanted to embarrass them. He wanted to see how foolish they were in believing in this dead idol when there is a living God who answers prayers, who's ready to save us, His grace, His mercy, and just love. He is love. Just wanting to come to our rescue and just can't even put it into words right now. How God wants to how so much he wants to, how much and what he wants to do in our lives. But anyway, so Elijah gave Baal's prophet all day long. They was chanting, even up to noon. It got so bad that Elijah started to even mock and tease them. And still no response. Their sacrifice still didn't catch on fire. So now it was Elijah's turn. So Elijah set up all of his sacrifices and stuff like that, and he told them to wet everything up. They doused everything. Everything was wet. Doused. What everywhere? Doused everywhere. Wet. Soap. Wet. Soap. So and Elijah prayed. God answered immediately. And God, He just didn't burn up the sacrifice. He burned up the sacrifice. He even burned up the water. See what I'm saying? Imagine the fire just burning up water, everything that was anywhere. He burned that right up. Now he's saying all this to say that after Elijah did all of this, because I'm building context around this point that I'm going to make right now. When Jezebel, right in the next chapter, this is 1 Kings 18, verse 26 to the very end of the chapter. Immediately after chapter 19, Ahab went to Jezebel and he told her what happened, and she was furious. And she came a word out and she said, just how you killed all of our prophets, so I'm gonna kill you that very same way. And a fear came into Elijah and he fled. Now hold up, is this the same gentleman? Is it the same gentleman who God answered immediately? And now he's scared, running for his life from a human? And God just back up his very words? And see, that goes back to what I said. False evidence appearing real fear. And that's what came into him. Now I'm not sure if he was scared to fight another battle, or if he was scared that Jezebel would lay harm on him. But nonetheless, he was scared, and God had to resuscitate him. Basically, God had to resuscitate him. He had to love him back to life, as he always do in his own way. So nation, what I'm telling you right now is that you have all the tools in your hand. Everything that God has placed in you to do, He's placed in your hands, and it's just up to you to connect with Him. Know that these things that the chattering in your head is not the voice of God, because God's voice is a still voice, and you don't move until you hear the voice of God, because there are going to be a lot of things, lot of voices in your head. But you need to increase your faith. How do you increase your faith? Faith comes by hearing, and hearing of the word of God. All right. So you need to block out the clutter, protect your eye gate, protect your ear gate, your mouth gate, and your heart gate. Fill yourself with word. Only if you're reading or listening to 15 to 20 minutes of the word, whether you have it playing audible or you're physically reading it, get it in, and watch God turn those fears away. Because why? Because remember, fear is only false evidence appearing real, and God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, peace, power, and a sound mind. So Nation, an aircraft can only take flight within its maximum takeoff weight. Whether you're pursuing purpose, whether you're a creative, whether you're an entrepreneur or an employee, I want all of those excess baggage to be released off you right now. And until those baggage are released, you will not soar. And I declare of you right now that you will take flight today. And if you haven't heard these words before, know that it's your time to soar.